Salutations everyone, my name is Alan Alger, and today I'm feeling like
becoming a controversial figure and spouting incredibly polarizing content and silencing any forms of criticism and backlash.
All thanks to YouTube removing dislikes.
About a month or so ago, YouTube finally took the plunge and removed dislikes off of their platform. How has the world coped since this change?
Actually, the world's coped pretty alright, to be perfectly honest. Not much has changed in the eyes of the casual viewer. Or has it? Well, for the standard viewing experience on YouTube, not a lot will change. Most people log on and watch their favourite content creators for a while, maybe stick around and watch a few videos from people they haven't seen before, log off and enjoy the rest of their day.
But is that all? Well, if we take a look back at the original post from YouTube saying that from November 10th you wouldn't be able to see the dislike count publicly and scroll down to see how people were responding to the situation, yeah, that sounds about right. People were vocally furious about the change online, lamenting how this would be terrible for the platform, something I heavily agreed with. However, YouTube, unsurprisingly, decided to go through with the change, ignoring the community and hiding dislikes from the public eye, effectively killing them off. Except that they're not actually gone and they're still viewable, which we'll get to later, lads.
Now with them gone and no interest from YouTube in returning them, why not spend today metaphorically screaming into the wind as I give my thoughts and feelings on why removing dislikes is detrimental to YouTube.
Let's go over what YouTube is mainly used for in the eyes of the public, and we can see if seeing the dislike count really affects it. YouTube is used for all sorts of good and bad things, ranging from DIY videos, reviews, rants, scams, tutorials, etc. Sometimes there can be mobs going after people and mass disliking videos that they do not agree with and directly causing bouts of anxiety and negatively affecting the uploader's mental health, according to YouTube themselves. I do agree with this statement and can sympathize with how detrimental it can be to content creators' mental well-being when they're attacked for just having a negative opinion to something people really like. It sucks, and I think anyone would feel the same way. However, dislikes can also be seen as something that can be used to identify the quality of the content someone is about to watch, or even if it's safe. One big example we can turn to immediately is the abundance of scams plaguing the website, and have been for years, usually referring to games that are popular with a younger audience such as Roblox or Fortnite, promising that if they use this quick, easy trick or totally safe software, that they'll be able to get some in-game rewards such as V-Bucks and skins, cosmetics, etc. These scams aren't just related to gaming either, as there are multiple videos on YouTube about these get-rich-quick schemes, where sometimes it's apparently just as simple as signing up for this extremely expensive course and listening to these random people teach you all about how to make as much money as possible. To the trained eye, we'd probably spot this kind of video and shrug it off, laughing at our incredible perception of online media granted only from spending crippling amounts of time online and never going outside. Oh god. But what if we took someone who wasn't as smart? If I just quickly do this, and snip there, boom!
Children?
Children are stupid. I doubt many kids have been trained to spot scams online when they look up something like free V-Bucks on the YouTube search tab. I mean, just look at them. There's so many of them, it's ridiculous, both before and after the change. However, beforehand you could easily just click on a video and sometimes you'll see a fat ratio so big even little Timmy might grow a brain cell and realize he's about to get scammed or lose his account. Yes, I know that children excited to get free stuff may not even look at this, but it at least may help parents spot this if their kid is asking them for help. Even if we go back to something like a DIY tutorial, something adults are probably going to use themselves, the way of spotting if the video is actually going to be helpful, well, it's gone now.
However, before the change, there was still a way for content creators to hide their like to dislike ratio, and that was by removing it completely.
Despite this, you could easily just turn to the comments and read up on what people were saying about the video you're about to watch. However, comments can be easily removed or hidden by the creators to try and push the narrative that their video is definitely worth your time. And yes, while they can spend hours mass deleting and banning account after account, they cannot remove people's dislikes except for just removing the entire bar completely. The like to dislike ratio is, well, an easy way to determine if the content you're about to watch is either what you're looking for or something not worth your time. In a platform where scams and money-making clickbait videos are freely uploaded and run rampant across the site with barely any way of moderating or determining if this is fraudulent, this counter can sometimes be the only way of determining if this video is going to be safe to use.
Heck, I mean, I know it saved my skin a bunch of times trying to download things or get things to work on my computer.
For example, let's say you're looking up a tutorial on how to get an old game to work on your current computer. I've done this before numerous times to play old games such as Battle Realms or the movies. You search up and then you get barraged with a wall of videos ranging from being uploaded to last year or last decade, and you're struggling to figure out which video to use or even if it's safe. Usually you'd start watching a video for a bit, glance over at the dislike counter and see that the video you're watching might not be telling you what you should be doing. I know I focus quite a bit on the potential of scams and clickbait, but this also applies to any other type of content in general. YouTube said in a video about the removal of dislikes that this shouldn't be a big change since most other platforms don't have a dislike feature anyway.
So that's the update. I hope it doesn't cause too much frustration. Honestly, I think you're going to get used to it pretty quickly, and keep in mind other platforms don't even have a dislike button.
However, YouTube isn't like most other platforms. People don't go onto YouTube like they go onto something like Twitter or Instagram. YouTube is a platform where people can watch pretty much anything they want, from gaming to original animations to tutorials. That's why there's a rating system. Services like Amazon Prime have rating systems as well. You want to see if the content you're about to watch is something you think you'll enjoy. If other people don't think so, it's good to have that foreknowledge easily accessible to the user. YouTube even expresses it themselves that this number can be beneficial to have.
I've always thought seeing the number of dislikes on a video helps us know as viewers if it's a good video or not, if it's a helpful tutorial or not, or if what a creator is saying in their video is generally agreed with or not.
What I'm trying to get is, while dislike attacks may have hurt people's feelings, it still was integral to the platform and gave it a sense of freedom. While people were perfectly able to upload their scams or controversial content to the internet, it gave people a chance to fight back with a metric that couldn't be tampered or augmented to boost the content creators' numbers, at least on YouTube, that is.
YouTube say that to reduce targeted dislike attacks and their impact on creators, especially smaller creators, you'll no longer see a public dislike count on YouTube starting today when the post came out, meaning that you can still dislike a video, but you can't see publicly how many people have disliked beforehand.
Well, what the hell is the point of removing them then? Yes, I can still go and dislike a video, but no one is ever going to see it, so it doesn't mean anything anymore. Before you come in and say, well, actually, the number's not gone, it's just hidden, well, then you're just hiding the problem. You're not actually addressing it, you're just making it, you're trying to push it away somewhere hidden. I can still go and get a group of my friends and we can go mass target dislike a video. Sure, it's not public, but it will still have an effect on the content creator if they ever go have a look at their statistics and go on the YouTube Content Creator Studio and go, oh look, there are still a bunch of people disliking my videos. You're not helping people's morality, you're not helping their mental state. All you're doing is just hiding the problem. If YouTube actually meant to help people's mental well-being, they would have just had the balls to rip it off like a band-aid. Just rip it off completely. Get rid of dislikes completely. But no, they had to pander to both the people who wanted it and the people who wanted it gone. So they just hid it. It's now a broken husk of a shell of what it used to be. You didn't help the people who wanted it there. You're still annoying them because there's a button there that does nothing anymore, and it's still there, which means all that the people who wanted it gone have to do is just ignore it, which is what people were doing beforehand. You've effectively annoyed both sides of the argument, and the number is still there, so what does this do? It doesn't help people's mental well-being, it just helps how people perceive them. It just helps how the public look at this content creator. They look at the number, they see a high number of likes, and they go, oh, that must be a nice, well-meaning person. Maybe this scam does work. No, it just helps people get seen better in the public eye. It doesn't help their mental well-being. It just helps how the public perceive them. This change doesn't stop dislikes at all. It's detrimental to the site because now you're just going to have a bunch of controversial figures and scams running rampant on the site and no one can do anything to stop it. Yes, I can write a mean-spirited comment explaining why I do not agree with this person or saying, this is a scam, do not use it. Oh look, I can delete it. Or they can ban me from making any comments on their YouTube channel, meaning I have to go get another one to comment the exact same thing and have it be banned. All you're allowing is letting people censor what the public think about them in a way that is just so toxic and vile. Anyone can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Any one of the millions of content creators on this website can do it to boost how the public perceive them. It's disgusting. Yes, you can rant about them on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, if anyone still uses that to moan about content creators, but you're just taking the problem off platform. So it's no longer YouTube's problem. It's no longer your problem. It's just what a bunch of people are screaming about over on Twitterland. This change helps no one except controversial figures and big corporations who want to look like they are making a good product for investors and a bunch of other people that no one really cares about. It helps the people that no one cares about on this platform. The people who do care, like content creators and the people who watch the content creators, we're stuck in this ball of people who YouTube doesn't care about anymore. We used to be cared about, but not anymore. And this change, it's probably going to be permanent. YouTube aren't going to remove this. Why would YouTube revert this change back? It's working fine. Nothing groundbreaking has changed in the eyes of them, in the eyes of the big corporations they're so much pandering to now. Was we, the little guys, are just sort of stuck here in this run. Our voices are not heard. It's depressing.
Finally, I'm going to talk about how dislikes aren't actually gone and can still be accessible to pretty much anyone. All it takes is a simple extension on your browser. There are a lot of these online, so doing a simple Google search will easily show you a bunch of these extensions that, with one click of a mouse, will return dislikes back to their former glory. Ish. The ratio bar is gone, but you can at least still see the number. Does that mean the dislike count is still technically publicly visible, just hidden? Well, no. The one I use currently gets its data from a combination of archived data before the YouTube official dislike API shutdown, as well as user behavior from the extension users. So, while it's not real time, it gives you a general gist of what it should be. In the end, do I honestly think we're gonna get dislikes returned? No. And if I think that, why did I spend this long complaining about the change? Well, it's mainly due to the fact that it doesn't seem like YouTube are listening to their audiences or their creators' input. And they don't have to. After all, YouTube can do whatever they want with their own platform. But as the years go by, there seems to be an ever-growing disconnect between the people who use the site daily as a means of entertainment, create content, and even earn a living, and the people who run the platform. That, in my opinion, is what's ruining YouTube today.